Hello students, welcome back to the lecture of marketing services. This is Dr. Ram Singh, Assistant Professor, School of Management, BBT University, Lucknow. Today we are going to discuss the next topic, that is tourism marketing. So when we talk about tourism is all about the services that is provided to the people who are traveling and staying outside their usual residence for a period shorter than 1 year. And it includes the various business activities like commercial as well as non-commercial activities, and they all form the bundle or the package which is required to satisfy the needs of the international and national tourists. So, if we talk about in present, travel and tourism is one of the world's largest foreign exchange earner among the industries. It provides employment to the millions of people, and it also contributes indirectly towards the various other associated services too, right? So when we talk about tourism, it is not only confined to the only any one particular service provider, but yes, it consists of the various segments, various service provider like accommodations or attraction and entertainment. So tourism is a systematic and coordinated execution of the business policy by tourist undertaking, whether it can be private or it can be state-owned at local, regional, or the national or international level, to achieve the satisfaction of the customer. So when we talk about tourism, it basically represents or denotes the temporary short-term movement of the people to the destination from where they normally live. So when we're coming on the features of the tourism product, the first and foremost feature of tourism product is that it cannot be provided by single enterprise, right? So when we talk about tourism, so we always say tour package, right? Because it consists of the package of the or the bundle of the various offerings by the tourism provider, right? So you can see any other tour and travel services. They are providing the services by having a tie-up with the various hotels for the accommodation purpose, by having a tie-up with the various transportation modes like or the cab services, right? They are having a tie-up with the various you can say various tourist guides, right, who can help the customers to know about the particular place. So this is and then again this tour agents or the tour companies have to tie up with the various kind of restaurant or the food services or the caterers. So we can see that in case of tourism product, it is not a single product, but yes, it is the package. It is the set of the bundles of the various offerings provided by the various service provider. Then second feature is the sales intermediaries like tour operators, travel agents, and hotel brokers plays a very important role. So what I have just discussed, that yes, in case of tourism, it is not a service that is provided in a single in a single way, but yes, it is the set of the offerings by the various service provider. So here it arises the role of tour operators and the travel agents and the hotel brokers in selling these tourism services. Then again, it is a very fourth point that I have mentioned over here, that it is a very complex and complex industry. Why it is complex industry? It is complex industry because it is consists of the various enterprises, right? Transportation, accommodation, food, catering, and of course, yes, along with that, organizers like tour operators and travel agents. So you can see that tourism is not a single product, but yes, it is a It is a set of bundles and which comes under the tourism. So you can see that under tourism, just a minute. Yeah, under tourism, you can see that yes, tourism is not only the single service, but yes, it is a set of or the bundle of the services provided by the various service provider. So when we talk about tourism services, when we talk about tourism services, so it is not only confined to the only single product, but yes, it consists of the various services it consists of various services like transportation, accommodation, food, catering, and tour operators, tours agents and operators. So this is how that it is the one of the complex industry. You can see that tourism industry is one of the complex industry, as it consists of the various enterprises like what we have mentioned: transportation, accommodation, food, catering, and tour agents and operators. So to manage with all these service provider at the same time is one of the complex tasks for the tourism service provider, right? Tourism service provider required to have tie up with all of these service provider itself. Now coming on segmentation of tourism product. So of course we know that segmentation means to divide the heterogeneous market into the homogeneous market. So in case of tourism also segmentation is required, as we know that all tourists are not the same. They may belong to the different regions, they may be of different age groups, they may be of having to the different incomes, having different kind of taste and preference for their life, right? So of course, yes, tourists also have different choices when it comes to select the mode of travel, when it comes to select the destination, when it comes to select the activities at a destination. So it depends on the tourist, on the different choice of tourist, and of course, yes, this choice is based on the certain characteristic of that tourist. So it is very much required to segment the tourism product, to segment the tourist customers for offering the tourism services. So every tourist being different, the tourism industry possibly not capable of satisfying the individual needs. So the solution is that to make the homogeneous segments so that it can be easily, this segment can be easily served by the tourism service companies. So why the segmentation required in tourism industry? So of course, here the first and foremost point is that it has to understand the specific demand of the consumer. So what I have cited that tourism is not a single industry. It consists of the various sub industries, various sub segments, right? So of course, again, each and every tourist has the different kind of needs. So managing with the various sub segment, moreover managing with such a large customer, it is very much difficult for the service provider. So of course, the option that left is to segment the customers, right? So it will help to understand the specific demands of the customers belong to the particular segment so that it can be easily meet out by the service provider. Then second point is that segmentation helps in allocating the marketing expenses in an efficient way. Of course, when you know the specific demand of the customer, so service provider will be more aware about the how to cater these demands and how to allocate the budget to the various segments for meeting out the demands of the customer belonging to the various segments. And of course, here segmentation helps in creating the effective marketing strategies by targeting the specific market segment. You can take example that this tour company make the advertisements of the destinations, right? So, and they are having the various packages, right? They are having the various packages for the customers, right? Some customers are visiting the destinations for enjoying their trip. Some are visiting the destination for honeymoon purpose. Some are visiting the destination for getting knowledge about the particular destination. So yes, by the help of by getting the need of these customers, it is easy to target these customers by the help of the advertisement. So you can see that in this tours company are are playing their advertisements, uh, highlighting the various characteristics of the various segments of the various characteristics of the customer belonging to the various segments. So you can take example of they are we can see that they are advertising their services by using the various modes, like they are having the advertisement related to the honeymoon couples, right? Or they are showing the advertisements for adventurous tips, right? So this is how these kind of the things are portrayed in the advertisements and helps them to develop the effective promotion strategies. Similarly, effective marketing strategy regarding to the product or the price can be developed in the light of the characteristic of the customer belonging to the particular segment. So this is how segmentation is very much important in tourism sector. Now, just have a look at how we can segment the tourism product. So, of course, it can be done on the basis of geography. So, geographic market segmentation is done considering the factors such as tourist place of origin, from which place the tourist belongs to. And of course, it is very important because, by serving with the tourist, it is very much important to have the knowledge about the culture in which he was born and brought up, or the culture from where he is coming from, right? So of course tourists are belonging to the different places, and they are belonging to the different culture, and of course yes, this culture is having the certain impact on the behavior of the tourist. So yes, it is one of the basic segmentation that is done in the tourism industry is your geographic segmentation. Now another segmentation can be done on the basis of demography, like gender, age, marital status, ethnicity, occupation, religion, income, education, and number of family members. So of course, it again plays a very important role in tourism. When we talk about gender, when we talk about age, when we talk about marital status. So yes, these are on the basis of these characteristics, tourist requirement for that travel is changes with on the basis of these characteristics. For example, if we will see the various classes of the customers in upcoming slides. But for example, you can take example like marital status when we're talking about. So the newly couple, they are looking for the trip for making their honeymoons, right? So these are something that is what we have cited, that this is one of the example. Then on the basis of occupation, yes, some people are making the trip because of their occupation, because for attending the seminar, for attending the business meeting, right? So you can segment on this basis. Then religion, so many times it happens that certain kinds of kinds of tourism services is provided in the light of the religion segment also. They are having the tours package which are made in the light of providing the providing the tour services to the religious place, like you can take example of people are visiting the various Char Dham, right? Or they are visiting uh, right another religious points, religious locations, or they or you can take example of international level. Yes, they are visiting Makkah and Medina. So of course these are some of the tour that is planned for the religious purpose, right? Then coming on income, of course, yes, on the basis of the income, tourists spend money. So of course, if it is very important to classify the customers on the basis of income, right? So low income earner, they are not having too much money to spend, and of course, yes, if they make the tour. So, but they are not going to spend in a lavish way. So, of course, they are having the money constraint. And on the other hand, the person having the large income size. So, of course, yes, they are having more lavish style, and they will be more demanding, right? And they are ready to spend more money for availing the various services at a destination point, right? Then on the basis of education and number of family members, the segmentation can be done. And you can take example that number of family members, various tourism companies, they are providing the certain kind of offerings, certain kind of discounts on the number of family members, or they are having the certain kind of offers on the basis of the age for the children, or for the senior citizen. They provide various kind of offers and discounts. So this is how the demographic segmentation is helpful in tourism industry. Then coming on the third one, that is psychographic. Of course, it is very much important to know the psyche of the tourist, right? So here the tourist company gather information about the tourist interest, about their attitude, about their belief, about their way of living the life and opinion, and overall their personality, so that it will be more easy to serve the customers having the similar kind of the personality traits. Then segmentation of the tourism product can be done on the basis of the purpose too. Purpose, what I have just discussed, that purpose varies from tourist to tourist. Some are visiting the site for business purpose, some are visiting for culture tourism. Culture tourism means that these are the tourists which are exploring which are traveling for exploring the various cultures, right? Then medical tourism, these are the tourists who are traveling for taking the medical facilities, right? For taking the availing the medical facilities across the various countries. Then some of the customers or the tourists are or the travelers are there for attending the various kind of conferences or the convention. So this is yes, one of the bases that you can segment the market on the basis of the purpose of the customers or the tourist or the traveler. Now, we just have a look on the various classes of tourists. When it comes to the tourists, it is important to discuss that how this tourist can be segmented. I have discussed in general, we segment these tourists like on the geography, demographic, psychographic, and purpose. Now, it is very again important to know about the various classes of the tourists, right? So, depending upon the motives, the way of touring, there are the various classes of tourists can be there. So the first class is the tourists who are traveling with the families. So these are the tourists who visit the place with their first and extended families or their relatives, right? And here one person, generally the head of the tourist family, is the decision maker who decide about the destination, who decide about the accommodation. And the family generally travel for holidays or for leisure and tend to expend sparingly. And they generally are keen on receiving the best services for what they have paid, because they are visiting the place for trip. They are visiting the particular place for enjoying their holidays. So they are more demanding and they want more services. I mean, best services from the service provider. And of course, these persons are tend to carry more luggage. So yes, this is one of the segment of the tourist, one of the class of the tourist. Then another tourist can be your single tourist. These are the tourists who are travel alone and are independent, and they take tourism as their hobby. And yes, the gap year travelers, unmarried person, widows, widowers, or the backpackers and solitary tourists travel single. So these are some of the example of the single tourist. Then, of course, these tourists tend to behave balanced if any challenging situation occur. But yes, they are balanced and they are rational towards the tour schedule, as they are traveling as a result of their hobby, right? Then another class of tourists can be a groups of tourists. So when we talk about groups of tourists, it includes the various students from the schools and universities who are having the educational tours, and they can follow the various fraternities with common interest, or the group of newly weds or the senior citizens. So they travel in group, right? So companies are providing the package on the basis of the group of tourists. They are providing the package for the group travelers. Then there are certain tourists who are visiting the friends and relatives. These tourists travel to meet friends or relatives or to attend a celebration or gathering, right? Marriage ceremony or anything, any kind of celebration. So these tourists generally plan their tours in the breaks such as Diwali holidays or Christmas holidays or any kind of long break when most of the people have break. So any kind of celebration or gathering, or they make their tour when there is a wedding season, right? So this is again one of the class of tourists who are visiting the friends and relatives. Then another class of tourists is your business tourists, and they are the professional tourists on the business trips, and they decide for themselves but do not spend too much money because they are visiting the place for their business purpose. For example, you can take example of sales or the marketing person who are travel to another city to attend a business fair, or the business manager travel to another country for business deals. So they are going over there for business purpose. So they are not interested to spend too much money because they are only visiting the particular location just for their business purpose. So yes, they are not going to spend money. They are only confined to their business activities only. Then there can be the incentive tourist. Yes, they are the tourists who are making the tour as an incentive, as a reward that they receive from the company or the organization, like holiday package from the company at some hotel or resort. So such reward generally distributed if an employee perform outstanding to achieve the goals. So as a reward, companies are providing them, and these tourists are visiting the site on the in the form of various kind of incentive that is provided by this kind of holiday package that is provided by the company. So they are not spending as they are visiting or they are enjoying that trip on the expense of the company. Then there are the health tourists. These tourists travel to place with the agenda of health on their mind. They travel to avail some kind of a special medical treatment. What I have discussed, that medical tourism, right? And in many countries, certain surgeries are cheaper. So people are moving towards that country for availing that surgery or the medication or such kind of treatments. So some tourists in this category also travel if they're receiving some illness from the climate at their residence. So they visit the trips, they have the trips to the certain place for revive themselves. Like some people are having problem like asthma and all, so they change their location for a certain period of time, right? And many times doctor recommends to spend some time in the nature, lap of nature, so have a fresh environment. तो चलिए स्टूडेंट्स, आगे हम देखते हैं टूरिज्म इंडस्ट्री इन इंडिया के बारे में बात करते हैं. सो हमने बात करी कि टूरिज्म क्या है. टूरिज्म के बारे में हम ऑलरेडी डेफिनेशन डिस्कस कर चुके हैं शुरुआत में लेक्चर के, जिसमें हमने बताया कि टूरिज्म क्या है. इट इज अ ट्रैवल फॉर रिक्रिएशन, लेजर, फैमिली और बिजनेस पर्पस, यूजुअली फॉर अ लिमिटेड पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. It is always temporary, short-term movement of people to destination outside their native places or resident places. So tourism, तो tourist वो लोग हैं, कौन लोग हैं? Who are traveling to and staying in places outside their usual environment for not more than one consecutive year for leisure, business and other purpose. ऐसे लोग जो travel करते हैं अपने usual environment से दूर and not more than one consecutive year. और किस लिए करते हैं? For leisure purpose, यानी कि for fun and activities, fun activities के लिए, business purpose के लिए या other purpose के लिए जो travel करते हैं and not more than one consecutive year, वो सब आपके आ जाते हैं टूरिस्ट के अंदर. So टूरिस्ट की डेफिनेशन क्लियर है, आई हो. अब इंडियन टूरिज्म की बात करें तो इंडिया की लोकेशन ऐसी है, इंडिया में क्लाइमेट ऐसा है, ज्योग्राफिकल लोकेशन ऐसी है, यहाँ पे कल्चर हमारे पास रिच है, हेरिटेज है हमारे पास, वाइल्ड लाइफ है हमारे यहाँ, कई सारे प्लेसेस एडवेंचर्स के लिए हैं, रीजनल रिलीजियस प्लेसेस हैं, राइट. उसके साथ ही साथ मेडिकल टूरिज्म है. तो ये सभी कुछ एमर्जिंग डायमेंशन है जो कि इंडियन टूरिज्म इंडस्ट्री में ड्यूरिंग द लास्ट डिकेड एमर्ज हुए हैं. तो चलिए इनको एक एक करके थोड़ा समझ लेते हैं. तो पहला हमने कहा नेचर टूरिज्म. तो नेचर टूरिज्म मीन्स कि यहाँ पे ये टूरिज्म में वो सारे साइट्स कवर होती हैं जिसको लोग जानते हैं उनके नेचुरल ब्यूटी के लिए. नेचर टूरिज्म में लोग यहाँ इंडिया में आते हैं यहाँ की नेचुरल ब्यूटी को देखने के लिए आते हैं, राइट। इंडिया में कश्मीर को जैसे कि हम जानते हैं कि इट इज नोन एज पैराडाइज ऑन अर्थ, राइट, या केरला को गॉड्स ऑन कंट्री कहा जाता है। तो इन सब जगहों पे लोग आते हैं यहाँ की नेचर को फील करने, नेचर के साथ कुछ टाइम बिताने के लिए आते हैं। तो इंडिया में अगर कुछ नेचुरल साइट्स की हम बात करें तो हमारे यहाँ शिमला है, जम्मू, गोवा, मनार, ऊटी, कोडाईकनाल, कुनूर, लेह लद्दाख, नैनीताल, ये सारे साइट्स हैं जहाँ पे नेचर टूरिज्म बहुत डेवलप हो चुका है और लगातार डेवलप होता जा रहा है। लोग इन जगहों पे आते हैं वहाँ की नेचुरल ब्यूटी देखने के लिए और नेचर के साथ कुछ टाइम स्पेंड करने के लिए। आगे चलते हैं तो इंडिया में अलग अलग वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरीज हैं। यहाँ की जो जोग्राफिकल लोकेशन है उनके कारण से फॉरेस्ट है यहाँ पे, जिनमें अलग अलग तरीके के यहाँ फ्लोरा एंड फौना मिलते हैं हमें। तो लाइक हमारे अगर वाइल्ड लाइफ जोन्स की बात करें तो डेक्कन पेनिनसुला है, वेस्टर्न घाट्स, गैंगेटिक प्लेन्स, नॉर्दर्न ईस्टर्न रीजन और हिमालयन रीजन, ये सारे वाइल्ड लाइफ जोन्स हैं जहाँ पे अलग अलग तरीके के फ्लोरा एंड फौना मिलते हैं और उनको देखने के लोग यहाँ पे आते हैं। तो दिस इज अगेन वन ऑफ द अनदर डायमेंशन ऑफ इंडियन टूरिज्म, दैट इज वाइल्ड लाइफ जोन्स। आगे बात करें तो इंडिया इज द लैंड ऑफ टेम्पल्स, इट इज द लैंड ऑफ वेरियस रिलीजियस मॉन्यूमेंट्स। तो अगर इंडिया में हम बात करें तो एंशिएंट टाइम से यहाँ इंडिया को होली प्लेसेस के लिए जाना जाता है, राइट। और इट इज वन ऑफ द पॉपुलर प्लेस फॉर पिलग्रिमेज फॉर एवरी रिलीजन। इट इज द लैंड ऑफ एवरी रिलीजन, आइदर फॉर टेम्पल, मॉस्क्यो, चर्च, गुरुद्वारास, इट इज द लैंड ऑफ एवरी रिलीजन और इसी कारण से इसको जाना जाता है। अगर हम बात करें इंडिया में तो वी आर हैविंग वेरियस रिलीजियस मॉन्यूमेंट्स, चाहे वो बिलोंगिंग टू हिंदू रिलीजन हो, मुस्लिम रिलीजन हो, सिख रिलीजन हो, बौद्ध रिलीजन हो, सभी रिलीजन्स के यहाँ पे हमें लोग यहाँ पे चीजें मिलती हैं। तो इंडिया इज नोन एज द लैंड ऑफ एवरी रिलीजन, so it is the one of the site for pilgrimage tourism which attract the people across the world towards the various religious monuments in India. आगे हम बात करें तो इंडिया में जो अगला टूरिज्म डायमेंशन है जो बहुत ही इमर्जिंग है वो है आपका मेडिकल टूरिज्म। मेडिकल टूरिज्म यहाँ पे इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे, यानी कि जो लोग बाहर से यहाँ आते हैं मेडिकल सर्विसेज लेने के लिए, और उसके साथ डोमेस्टिक मेडिकल टूरिज्म जो कि इंटर रीजनल लोग जो एक विद इन अ कंट्री एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जाते हैं फॉर टेकिंग द हेल्थ केयर सर्विस, दे कम अंडर द मेडिकल टूरिज्म। सो इंडिया में क्योंकि एफोर्डेबल प्राइस पे हाई क्वालिटी मेडिकल सर्विसेज अवेलेबल हैं, चाहे आप हार्ट सर्जरी की बात करते हैं, नी रिप्लेसमेंट की बात करते हैं, अलग अलग जितने भी आपके ट्रीटमेंट्स हैं, राइट, वो इंडिया में एज कंपेयर टू द अदर कंट्रीज ऑफ द वर्ल्ड यहाँ पे सस्ते हैं और बेहतरीन क्वालिटी के। तो इन सर्विसेज के लिए इंडिया में लोग बाहर से आते हैं, यानी कि इंटरनेशनल टूरिज्म भी है, मेडिकल टूरिज्म इमर्जिंग है, उसके साथ ही साथ डोमेस्टिक मेडिकल टूरिज्म भी इमर्जिंग है कि एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जाती है। तो वैसे भी इंडिया को अलग अलग मेडिकल साइंसेस के लिए जाना जाता है, चाहे आप होम्योपैथिक की बात करते हैं, यूनानी की बात करते हैं, आयुर्वेदिक की बात करते हैं और एलोपैथिक की बात करते हैं, तो जो आज की एडवांस मेडिकल सर्जरी है उसकी बात करते हैं। तो इंडिया में सारी फैसिलिटीज अवेलेबल हैं, वो बहुत ही चीप रेट्स पे, बहुत ही चीपेस्ट प्राइस पे अवेलेबल हैं, कम प्राइस पे अवेलेबल है, जिसके कारण से अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड लोग इंडिया में विजिट करते हैं। और ये जो मेडिकल टूरिज्म है, इट इज वन ऑफ द मेजर सोर्स ऑफ इंटर रीजनल एज वेल एज इंटरनेशनल सोर्स ऑफ कैश फ्लोज। And of course, because of this development in this sector, that is a medical tourism, it improves the business structure and administration of the hospitals. Now, coming on, this is all about the various dimensions of tourism that is emerging in India. Now, coming on the next topic, that is the important components of tourism. जब टूरिज्म इंडस्ट्री की बात करते हैं तो इन 4 A's की बात हमें करना जरूरी है। किसी भी साइट के लिए वो टूरिस्ट डेस्टिनेशन कब होगी, जब वहां पे 4 A's आपके अवेलेबल होंगे। क्या क्या है 4 A's, देख लेते हैं। पहला है अट्रैक्शंस, दूसरा है एक्सेसिबिलिटीज, थर्ड इज एमिनिटीज एंड फोर्थ इज योर एकोमोडेशन। तो अगर हम अट्रैक्शन की बात करें तो ऑफ कोर्स इट इज द वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एलिमेंट ऑफ कोर्स व्हिच अट्रैक्ट द पीपल टू ट्रैवल। अब इस अट्रैक्शन के अंदर आ जाता है कल्चर साइट्स, आर्कियोलॉजिकल साइट, हिस्टोरिकल बिल्डिंग, मॉन्यूमेंट्स और सीनरी लाइक फ्लोरा एंड फौना, बीच, माउंटेन, नेशनल पार्क। आखिर वो क्या अट्रैक्शन से कारण लोग आते हैं, तो उस डेस्टिनेशन में अट्रैक्शन होना जरूरी है। इसी में आपके अलग अलग ट्रेड फेयर्स, एग्जीबिशंस या कोई स्पोर्ट्स इवेंट्स होते रहते हैं कंट्री, वो आ जाएंगे आपके। सो इट इज वन ऑफ द प्री कंडीशन ऑफ द ट्रैवल टू अट्रैक्ट द पीपल एंड प्रोवाइड देम प्लेजर। It is the attraction which attaches the people to enjoy and involve in tourism activities. Now coming on the second A, that is accessibility. Again, it is one of the key factor. Attraction may be what wherever, but without accessibility, one cannot reach that place. अगर accessibility नहीं है तो लोग पहुंचेंगे कैसे? So accessibility कैसे होगी? When it will be having the proper connectivity, either through airways, roadways or railways. उस साइट की कनेक्टिविटी प्रॉपर होनी चाहिए, तभी एक्सेसिबिलिटी प्रॉपर होगी। तो किसी भी डेस्टिनेशन के लिए जरूरी है कि शुड हैव द प्रॉपर एक्सेसिबिलिटी। तो पहला अट्रैक्शन हमने बात की, सेकंड एक्सेसिबिलिटी की। नाउ थर्ड इज एमिनिटीज, एक्स्ट्रा फैसिलिटीज एंड सर्विस दैट इज रिक्वायर्ड टू द गेस्ट और द टूरिस्ट व्हाइल ट्रैवलिंग। नाउ इसमें आपके नेचुरल एमिनिटीज भी हैं, मैन मेड एमिनिटीज भी हैं। नेचुरल एमिनिटीज की बात करें तो लाइक सी शोर, सी बार, फिशिंग, रॉक क्लाइंबिंग, these are all are natural activities. They are the extra facilities that is provided to the tourist, and they are the natural amenities, right? On the other hand, also there is man-made amenities like dance and music, drama, cinema hall, swimming pools, fair festivals, internet. These are man-made facilities, man-made extra facilities, that is amenities. Now coming to the next stage, that is accommodation. Of course, जब लोग आ रहे हैं तो रुकना भी है, उनको रुकेंगे तो उसके लिए accommodation को होना बहुत जरूरी है। Accommodation में आपका जाता है food and lodging facilities to the guest or the tourist, and it should be comfortable and service and facilities should be provided. So this is all about the 4 A's, that is the component of tourism industry, और किसी भी destination के लिए important है उसमें ये 4 A's का ध्यान रखा जाए। So this is all about tourism marketing. So see you in the next lecture. Till then, thank you, students.